Welcome back to the deep dive. So you've handed us this stack of sources, and I mean, they don't just describe a conflict.
No, not at all.
They lay bare this whole ecosystem. You've got corporate debt, intense personal obligation, and this deep generational hatred.
And it all centers on the collision of two families, the Yıldırıms and the Karahans.
It's an incredibly dense web.
It is. So I think our mission today is to cut through some of that, the specifics, the betrayals, the debts, and really extract the core insight.
Or get to the heart of it.
We want to understand the dynamics of power, the anatomy of the psychological warfare going on, and also the surprising resilience you see from people trapped inside it.
Absolutely. This isn't just business. It's a high-stakes war where knowledge is the currency and trust is, well...
It's non-existent. Or worse, it's actively weaponized.
Exactly. So let's unpack this. We have to start with the single most defining structure of this whole mess, the marriage.
We have to. It's the foundation.
Huh.
This central, incredibly volatile contract between Ateş Karahan and Mercan Yıldırım.
And she is so clear about it, she sees it purely as a business deal.
A consequence of her family's failure. She says it over and over, that she's his wife purely out of obligation.
And she is literally counting down the seconds. This is not a forever vow. It's a time-locked transaction.
Precisely. The sources are so specific about it. The quote is, "We signed for 187 days, don't forget."
187 days. Wow.
Yeah, and for Mercan, that divorce isn't just a legal thing. She calls it her future happiest day.
Her liberation.
It's a bond forged entirely in financial ruin. Her father, Haydar, literally gave his daughter to Ateş in exchange for a debt.
That one detail it raises such a red flag. Why collateralize your child?
Well, that's the thing. It shows that for these patriarchs, personal subjugation is more valuable than just getting the money back.
It's about dominance.
It is. Ateş didn't just want payment. He wanted to install his control right into the heart of the rival family.
And this need for control, this hatred, it's not just about money, is it? It's rooted in something deeper.
Much deeper. It's rooted in this profound, unhealed personal loss.
And that's where the anguish turns into, just widespread cruelty.
We see it with the matriarch, Miss Muzayan. She is completely consumed by hatred because she lost a child, Murat.
And grief itself gets weaponized.
It does. While Murat's mother, Nermin, is mourning, Muzayan basically says she doesn't have the luxury of mourning.
Right, because the family is still drowning in the pit Murat dug.
So her own pain gives her license to inflict pain on everyone else. Private sorrow becomes this public vindictiveness.
But that's not the only revenge cycle going on here, is it? There's this parallel plot.
A completely separate tragedy, yeah. The story of İlsu.
Mentioned by a character we only know as Ruse.
Correct. And Ruse recalls her most heartfelt laughs, confirming she was this innocent person who's now gone.
And if we follow that thread, we find her brother, Tahir, is now actively seeking vengeance.
He's taking her vengeance from them. He promises her memory that the small, innocent girl's revenge is coming.
He even says he'll deliver the last hit.
And this is so crucial for you, the listener, to understand. The core feud is so destructive, it's like a magnet, pulling in other people who have their own private losses. The chaos is just multiplying.
And that chaos is absolutely internal, too. The whole environment is so toxic that betrayal is just expected?
It's the norm. Take the poisoning incident with Aslin. The source confirms, very specifically, it wasn't Mercan who poisoned her.
But Aslin still believes it was Mercan.
Which confirms everything. These families don't operate on facts. They operate on perceived insults and old grudges. Belief is more potent than truth.
We also get that detail about Shehin's death.
Right, he was shot by Haydar, Mercan's father, and died before he couldn't talk about his work with Ateş.
A convenient cleanup operation that just leaves more suspicion. Every secret, every death.
Is just another tool for leverage later on. Which brings us to the corporate battlefield.
Because this is Mercan's first real strategic move toward freedom.
Professional rebellion. Ateş fires her, and what does she do?
She immediately forms an alliance with his #1 business rival, Nezir Keseroğlu.
It's a brilliant declaration of war. She flips sides and becomes the architect for Nezir's huge hospital project.
She's using her actual competence to declare her independence.
And Ateş's reaction is, well, volcanic. Because it's not just a business threat. It's a threat to his ownership of her.
The quote is just incredible. He rages, "You're my wife, and Nezir is a man trying to hamper my work."
He's blurring all the lines.
If you think I'm gonna let you work with him, then you don't know me at all.
That's not just jealousy. That's him saying her professional identity, her route to freedom, is part of his collateral.
And from that professional threat, things escalate.
Immediately.
Yeah.
Into this calculated psychological warfare, which we see perfectly with the flowers conflict.
This was just so deliberate. It was designed to ruin her integrity and provoke Ateş.
So she gets this bouquet with a ridiculously flirty note, something like, "We'll be wonderful business partners. I love you so much."
And Ateş, of course, bites. He accuses her of fooling around with other men.
But Mercan knows. She suspects his family is behind it.
And the reveal is, it's fascinating.
It is. She finds out the flowers were handled by the maid, Zara, when Azai and Mrs. Muzayan were right there.
So Muzayan's the mastermind.
And when she's confronted, she gives this dark, calculated half-admission. She says, "I only wrote what I saw."
Implying she wrote what she perceived or wished was happening. She's weaponizing perception.
She knows she can't easily destroy Mercan's blueprints, but she could destroy her reputation.
But this act of cruelty, it seems to create this aha moment for Mercan.
A real turning point. She just draws a line in the sand. She tells Ateş.
Amazing line. "My fear died the day I married you, Ateş Karahan."
And that's the key to their whole power dynamic. Mercan realizes what she calls the side effect of cruelty.
At a certain point, there's nothing left for the other person to lose.
You strip someone of everything, their home, their freedom, and you have nothing left to threaten them with. She has nothing left to lose but the fight itself.
So her refusal to submit becomes her power.
Her only asset. An unassailable position.
Okay, so as this high-level war is raging, let's just pause and look at how this toxicity spreads downwards. Let's look at the atmosphere in the mansion with the staff.
It's like a state of constant low-level espionage. You have Zara, the maid, checking a windowsill for dust.
Such a small detail, but it says everything about the surveillance.
Every action is monitored. And then you have the mysterious earring incident.
Right, Zara loses her favorite earring.
And Atish's brother finds it, which seems innocent, but then another servant uses that to blackmail her, linking the earring to the poison incident in the kitchen.
So even a lost piece of jewelry becomes a weapon.
Exactly. The family's paranoia has turned the staff into unwilling spies.
But we do get this one beautiful contrast.
Yes, the hidden love story of Sishek and Yasar.
They're secretly in love, just hoping to be very happy when they can finally tell her mother.
Their quiet, sincere little dream. It's such a stark relief against the forced misery of Ateş and Mercan's marriage. It's this tiny glimmer of hope.
And then moving to the younger generation, we have Berat.
Who is just classic collateral damage. He's dealing with a huge loss from crypto trading.
He's desperate. He wanted to use that money to pay off a debt, surprise his parents.
And he's terrified. He's worried his mother will have a heart attack if she finds out. The weight of that secrecy is crushing him.
So in that desperation, he thinks about illegal shortcuts.
He considers using an unused car at the mansion for unlicensed taxi services.
And his friend Malik immediately says no, calling it like a robbery. No, no way.
Berat's situation just highlights how this overarching family stress breeds these impulsive, dangerous choices in the younger members.
And all these threads, the vengeance, the corporate war, the small secrets, they all converge at one event.
The hospital launch party, the ultimate stage for the performance of power.
Ateş hosts it for Mercan's project, but he uses it as a public display of control.
The sources say he's playing the doting husband. He holds Mercan tightly when they dance, acting hot and bothered.
It's not intimacy, it's a signal. So no one comes near what's mine.
And it works. Asla is shocked. She sees passion and says they were made for each other.
Mercan, meanwhile, is just focused on her professional win. She's relying on Nezir and on her assistant, Yashar.
Who was smart enough to back up the presentation file by email when she forgot the USB.
This should have been her moment, her triumph.
But in the shadows, Asla and Muzayan are looking for a flaw. They're saying there must be something that was overlooked.
They need this project to fail.
And here comes the final, definitive act of sabotage. Ateş ensures it fails himself.
The setup is flawless. Nezir, her main partner, mysteriously leaves right before her speech.
She's forced to go on stage alone. And when she tries to run the presentation,
he's replaced the file. The big reveal for the hospital is actually a document canceling the project entirely.
A stunning public execution of her dream. He waited until the last possible second.
And his final line to her says it all. I told you that you couldn't do anything without my knowledge.
A brutal message that her fight for freedom is completely futile.
So what's the takeaway here for you, the learner? Mercan's journey it highlights the ultimate price of this kind of debt and betrayal.
It's the loss of self, the destruction of dreams. She fought to gain dignity through her work, and the man who owns her obligation destroyed it in the most public, psychologically damaging way he could.
The whole cycle is self-perpetuating.
Atesh's need for control forces Mercan into this destructive opposition, and her defiance just reinforces his cruelty. No victory is ever permanent.
And the vengeance machine is far from done. Hadar vows to make everyone a slave at the door of the mansion again.
Asli vows she'll dig up the ground myself to destroy Mercan.
And we can't forget Tahir, Ailu's brother, still out there waiting to deliver the last hit.
It leaves us with a really provocative thought, I think. In this endless war of wills where every villain started as a victim and every action is motivated by past pain, when is the line between taking revenge and becoming the very monster you sought to destroy completely erased?
Something to mull over until our next deep dive. Thank you for joining us.